Hey, 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 it's DJ Train. It's another time for another story hour with DJ Train. I just got off phone with Ricardo, and I'm going to do a series of segments on explaining a little bit about Ricardo and Alicia and Zach, and um, explaining about the situation and everything. But we're going to talk to you a little bit about Ricardo, his history, and then at the tail end of the story, we'll give you a little update about what's going on with him. Oh, they're kind of like sunk in a swamp, and it's like they keep getting sticks that are semi-sturdy to be pulled out on, but then they just keep breaking, or I don't know, they just never seem to make it. It's like they're trying to dig out of a hole, and they never seem to make it. And about time they get almost to the top, they virtually get kicked down. Well, Ricardo called me a while ago and told me a few things. But first, let's talk to you about Ricardo. Ricardo is from the Midwest, uh, normally. Uh, he was born and raised in the Midwest. That's all he's going to say. On a farm. He had a tough childhood with many problems with his father, mother, many um, dealings with said agencies. Um, I remember a story he told me here a while back about he almost got taken out of the home. There was an issue between him and his dad, and he got his dad punished him, and not the right way, but they punished him. Let's just keep it at that, and it really hurt him really bad. And basically, what I'm trying to say is, at first he was like telling said agency everything he had to say, and then because he was kind of upset at his dad, doing that to him and all. I won't go into explicit details, but I will say this. No, his dad shouldn't have done it to him. It sounded like a weird ordeal, and YouTube is not the place to explain his history. Not in the full extent about abuse. So, and then he found out he might be taken out of the home, and he's like, whoa, wait a minute, He told him that he fell down the stairs, which that's not what happened, but it saved him from getting out of the home. Ricardo went on to, he moved to another town after he got grown. He worked at a place in another town that's no longer open anymore. Spent there 2 years. Anyways, I'm just saying that Ricardo's had a hard life. He took care of his mom for the most part of 10, 15 years, and as far as he's concerned, he did a good job on it. He didn't always get along with his mom, Sue. Him and his mom, Sue, fought. And a lot of people thought that he was treating the mom like crap. I don't know. I won't go into that. I knew Sue, and she seemed like a really, really good woman, but I also seen some of the arguments between him and Ricardo. I've known Ricardo for very long, long time. So, we'll move on a little bit farther in life. Ricardo got disabled in the early 2000s, and Ricardo invited his family to come out to the Midwest to live. They lived in Vegas. And then Ricardo moved to a bigger city down south, almost the Missouri, Kansas. It was in Joplin. And he spent basically good 7 years almost in Joplin area, starting with Joplin, then Oronogo, and then Carthage. But all that time he helped take care of his mom, and his said family came. They helped take care of him too. Take care of the mom. Mom was ill. Sue was ill with COPD, and so was his aunt. His Aunt Kathy. So Sue and Kathy were twins. Basically, he put up with everything that happened. They got together, and they were kind of like, it's kind of hard. It's just kind of hard to understand what people go through when they get ill, and they can't do for themselves. Some people understand, and they do things for them, and some people don't. Ricardo's father and his family wanted to put Sue in the rest home, and he said, no, not no, but heck no. She just got through working a job. She had to quit because of medical reasons, and she was working on her disability. I'm sorry, but when they're still doing for themselves, that's no reason to put them in the rest home. I have seen some of these rest homes around here, and I'm not mentioning any names. I have seen said rest homes, and I'm saying, some of them are bad, some of them are not. She probably would have been alright, this one down here, this town that I live near. But when it all came down to the nitty gritty, she wound up in one up in Iowa. And, it just, I don't know. That's where she wound up passing, is up there in Iowa, in the hospital there at Keokuk. It's sad thing to talk about. But I helped take care of both of them, or Ricardo helped take care of both, not me. Ricardo helped take care of both of them for many, many years. And it was not the best thing for him. And, Ricardo had to wind up trying to watch Sue go between his sister, which was Alicia, and Ricardo. And it was very stressful for Ricardo. Ricardo put up with a lot, but like I said, he made a vow to his mom that when she got sick and she wound up going to Iowa, that he would move to be close to her, to hope to patch things up. Well, in the middle of his move, she wound up passing away on May 4th, 2013. God bless her soul. Ricardo and Alicia and Zach moved to Iowa then, and they lived there for 4 months. Crappy landlords, crappy everything. And Ricardo and them moved moved back down here and lived in a little town in north of where I live now. And Ricardo lived there for about a year, put up with a landlord that really didn't care. And so, and Zach had some issues with Zach, and they got him taken care of. And then they moved down here, and I say the least, it's just, Ricardo's had such a bad year, or such a bad time. 2014 was bad for him. Looks like 2015 is not going to be any better for him, Zach, and Alicia. I think we'll go on to the update now. I pretty much got you updated on Ricardo, his history, his everything. The update basically is, I still think it's going to be the same time schedule, but I think it's going to be more towards May when they get Zach back. And the horrible thing about it is this is where I can't understand where he's talking. He's talking that outside people are playing his destiny. How soon they get back Zach, and how long it's well played, because it's just crap. How can a town, and how can people that don't know you, professional people, see what they see? Basically, said agency still thinks that Alicia is not confident in still being a mother. They think that she's still not able to be, in her parenting, she needs to get better. I've known this family for a very, very long time, and Alicia is good with kids. She is very good with Zach, and she, I just don't know where people that come in once a month and once a week can make an assumption that, So that's where we sit right now. The last video I said that the caseworker said that there was more to do. They went to a meeting. They said that they got good reports from back one from Alicia's therapist and the parent aide. We were good to roll on unsupervised visitation. But said agency said that it was not a good place to, it wasn't a good time to do. That one comes once a week. And I don't know what gives her the right to believe that she's not ready. But they don't have any problems with her safety, which doesn't make sense to me. But they've had a rough time. But that's pretty much up to this point what's going on. Ricardo and Alicia feel like they're heading backwards instead of frontwards. But their preacher says they're moving in inches. And folks, my thing is, a town has these people. This town has these people in a bind. What they don't realize is they've been pillars of the community. Their family has. They moved away for a short time, and then moved away for 9 years. They came back and they're good people. Why do said agency go after people that they don't know nothing about? Why do these people investigate people, said people, and then make an assumption? How do you make that stick in court? How do you make hearsay stick in court? This is like Ricardo was telling me about Zach's hair. Zach's hair is short. It kind of grows down. I don't know if you can see, and then it curls. It don't really get long. So at least you don't cut it that much, because it's beautiful hair. It's beautiful thick hair. Well, they were bullying Zach at school, and Zach started having anxiety issues, which said agency said that's not true. Started pulling his hair because he's being bullied. My thing is, they need to watch. They're not psychologists. They just can't believe that medicine for kids is a crutch. I had a cousin, needless to say, I'm not going to mention his name. He has Tourette's. That boy needed medicine. That boy needed medicine to get by. Just like I have seen the need for Zach having medicine. But said agency says that it's just a crutch. I'm sorry, but people don't go to psychiatrists. They don't go to doctors lightly. I have a friend up in northern Missouri that he wanted to try to get on without disability, but I had to talk him into going and seeing a doctor. He was pretty bad, and he's still living with us today because he went to go see a doctor. Okay, well, I'm going to shorten this up. Next day or so, I'm going to do the same thing about Alicia and Zach. I'll do it together. And go with this, and it'll be similar. Some I won't have to repeat because some of it's the same, some of it's not. This story is hard on them. The things that's going on, and it's not right. You know, I was raised by, and I didn't have the best of childhood, but I was raised to respect people. You know, I was raised to, I just said, sorry. Usually I scratch my nose when I do YouTube, but I'm not doing that today. So, I'm telling you today, if you're considering, I'm going to say it again, if you're considering calling on somebody, don't. Unless it's absolutely necessary. And you got all the facts in order, because it's going to destroy their life. So, I asked you, think about, if you're thinking about it, think about it. Do you have all the facts? And if you don't, alright, well, I'm going to get off. If you don't, I know what it's going to say. If you don't, you're going to destroy that family's life. Especially if they take that kid. They're talking like that said agency can keep Zach clear up till 2016 if they want to. And maybe longer. But my thing is, they're bullying Alicia to cut hair. They're bullying Alicia to do this. But all the while, Zach gets whatever he wants. Well, they're going to eventually eventually bully Alicia into signing papers so said people can adopt? I hope not. But I bet that's the way they do. They bully why they're bullying parents in court, I have no clue. Well, like I said, this is DJ Train, and the reason for this series of stories, is so people know, one, what's going on, and two, what this said agency, I'm not mentioning no agency's name, is doing to this family. And there should be somebody out there that can stop this, that can put a stop to it. It shouldn't matter if you're good people. Instead of going into it always thinking, you know, I would think a good agency worker that be in the line of children or families would think they would want to get to know somebody first, instead of immediately assuming that these are bad people. Back to George. I know I said I wouldn't mention George again, but think about George. He sits at home alone. I know George. You know, he's a very nice person. Never been convicted of anything. But, you know, George, they say that George might as well be convicted, because accusations are just as bad as being if we're done it. I'm sorry, but when did we change it? Guilty to proven innocent. You know, huh? I'm sorry, I thought that it was innocent till proven guilty. Has our world that bad that people are guilty first? I don't know. Well, like I said, this is DJ Train here. I'm going to cut this off. We're past 22 minutes. If you have listened to me this far, I really appreciate you listening to the series. Sorry about my hair today. Sitting here thinking about going to Bible study here in about 30 minutes. That'll be great. I need some kind of connection right now. But to say that, I just want to say thanks for everybody's support, and please keep supporting us through this. This is therapy for me to tell about this family. And those of you who know who these family members are, this is the only way that this story can be told. Alright, I'm going to cut off here. I hope everybody has a fine Wednesday. Yeah. Alright, talk to you later. Have a fine one today, and a better one tomorrow. We be gone. Bye-bye.